is happening, y'all? Welcome to another edition of J Powell Music. Be sure to like and subscribe here on the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can get all those lovely notifications on J Powell Music's videos. Check out the links above my head as well. You got some stuff. You got the Instagram. Excuse me. You got the Twitch there. You got the song whip for my music. And obviously you have the J Powell Music, but you already knew that because you're on it. Today is kind of a funny, just like, what is it? A funny, I think it's funny, but just to give props to an album that is incredibly ridiculous, but was incredibly, like, I don't know if relevant's the word, but it's good. It's good, unavoidably good, and there's data behind it as far as just how other people thought about the album. And it's standed the test through time, and as ridiculous as the content is on this album, it's definitely a classic. I have to say it. It's a classic. 22 years later, this album's still a classic. And what I'm referring to is the artist Limp Bizkit, and I'm referring to his album Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water that came out back in 2000. The year 2000, so 22 years ago. And I gotta tell you guys, like I said, content ridiculous. A lot of it just is super silly. It's the same way how you're seeing a lot of these TikTok videos about older rappers that are like, oh, the funny nutty about that. Like, this is like today, this is like a modernized representation of that. So, and it's very ridiculous, but I love this album. Like, this is one of those guilty pleasure albums for me, where there's just a lot of stuff that just doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's just like super repetition, like overly repetition, like nothing is really being said almost. It's just like a bunch of words together, but I feel like it works, and it works at the same time as well. There's a lot of things that don't make sense to me. Like, look at the album cover. There's a bunch of babies, they're sitting around in hot dogs, and one of them has a starfish. What the fuck is going on with this album cover? It makes zero sense. I remember being in the mall. I want to say it's called Sunset Cinema. They used to before they closed back in the day, and they sold books, movies, and albums and whatnot. And I remember when this album came out, and I remember seeing like it was like a vinyl version of it, and I was like, what? You know what I mean? Just very strange. But I remember eventually listening to it, and I was like, I love this. I love this so much. This is so good. Like the song Hot Dog. Like, obviously, I can't play it, but just the infamous song where he says the F word, I forgot how many times. Someone recorded it. I want to say it's like over 146 times or something crazy. But it was being in high school listening to this song. I was like, yeah, I totally get it. I mean, did what he was saying in the song, did it equally reminisce what I was going through? No, but it's just kind of like punk music. I feel like sometimes you just want to mosh out or freak out and just have that anger feeling inside of you as you're going from class to class. And I was bumping this. I'm not going to lie. I had this in a mini disc player back in the day, and I got a copy of it from a friend. And I was just bumping this hard. And this song was so ridiculous. I just remember listening to this. Like, I don't want you to monetize, but I mean, it doesn't matter at this point. But just like, just all of the F-bomb drops. And then at the chorus, you want to me like an animal. Like, what? Like, it's so funny. It's just like, it doesn't make sense, but it's so good at the same time. It's hard to explain, but it was really catchy. It was incredibly catchy. And the instrumentation is on point. I feel like that was a huge contributor. Whoever's playing bass, whoever's doing drums, whoever's doing guitar for Limp Bizkit, those guys knew what they were doing, and they were solid artists and still are, obviously. But like they drew me in. They drew me in, and I freaking loved all. Like, this is a classic album. Hot Dog is good. My Generation. Obviously, the infamous My Way or The Highway. And I remember like Fast and the Furious shit was coming out, so this was like one of like the main things. Obviously, Rolling. I remember this playing on 99.1 KGGI back in the day, constantly being played on 99.1 KGGI. This could be the one. This could be the one. Just like, there's Hold On. There's so many good freaking. This looks like there's a DMX version as well for Rolling, but just like so many ridiculous songs, but they're so catchy. You know what I mean? Let me go to this. I don't know if I get copyright striked or anything if I go to the lyrics for Hot Dog. I don't know if I can do it. Let me see if I can do it. I just want to show how ridiculous, like. So, ladies and gentlemen, the chocolate starfish, count the fuck up, and then just like that, it's just the riff, and then just here we go. It's the world, the place, everybody judged by the face. Like, even like these 4 lines, I was like, all right, I'm feeling this going between class to class. You know what I mean? In high school. This just screams high school. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's one of the, and I hear, strangely enough, I hear that Limp Bizkit he just released a couple of albums not too long ago, and I hear they're very good. Kind of crazy, right? I hear that it's actually really. I hear his recent albums are actually pretty decent as well. I'll have to check them out. I don't know why it's not taking me to his albums. I'm on his site. It's very odd. I don't understand what's happening. But anyway, I wanted to read off here the statistics before I end this video of how well Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water did. Because just like hearing what I'm saying, it's like, how could this possibly do well at all? Let me give some detailed information here. This is from bestsellingalbums.org. So it says, I obviously put in how many copies did Chocolate Starfish sell. So it says Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water by Limp Bizkit sold over 10,455,582 copies in 39 countries around the world. The album sold best in the United States with 6,762,000 copies, United Kingdom with 900,000 copies, and Canada with 600,000 copies. And then it says here, Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling over 1,054,511 copies in its first week of being released, with 400,000 of those copies being sold in the album's first day of release. That's insane. The largest first week sales debut for a rock album in the United States. It says since, and this is ... So that's not the end of the statistic there. So let me see if I can find out where that is. But needless to say, the album sold a freaking ridiculous amount. Let's see. Oh, ever since Nielsen SoundScan began tracking album sales in 1991. It was the 4th highest week debuting sales of 2000, right behind Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP, NSYNC's No Strings Attached, and Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again. If you remember those albums, if you are a 90s kid, and don't lie to me, if you are a 90s kid and you remember those albums, Marshall Mathers LP, NSYNC's No Strings Attached, Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again, those aren't some lame-ass albums. Those aren't some just like run-of-the-mill whatever albums. Those are top heavy-hitting albums at that time. And for this to compete with that is crazy to me. It's crazy as a music lover myself. So I just wanted to give my man some props, man. This is some great. This is a great album. It's still a great album. I still listen to it. I remember talking to my friend Arthur. We do the Gamers for Life podcast. There is a YouTube channel on that, so check that out. Go to the Gamers, the number 4 Life podcast, and we were talking about the song that he did for Mission Impossible 2 with Tom Cruise. I know you want to hate me, but hate's the only thing you ever seen lately. Like, it's just incredibly catchy, and obviously it's the same, it's the band, the Limp Bizkit. So, yeah, crazy, man, crazy. It's ridiculous. It's my guilty pleasure, but gosh darn it, it's a good album. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. This is Jarrell and J Powell Music. I'll see you guys next video.